Well, let's work on this right now. I'm just going to paint this bush. I'm using cadmium red, cad red medium, and cobalt blue, and just a hint of white. Okay, that's shadow. We have shadow here. Bit of shadow here, not a whole lot. A little bit there. Now we're going to do the same again, same paint mixture. We're going to add a little bit of white to it, a little more white to it, and a little more red to it, so that we begin to get into our reds a little bit, but not too strong. Still not too strong. What I find with when I work with cadmiums, they look good on the brush. They look good on the palette. I put them on the painting, and they become overbearing immediately. I'd rather they become overbearing once I have everything in context. So that's why I kind of do it this way. I'm staying away from alizarin crimson at the moment. Alizarin crimson goes kind of pinky, and not that it always does, but sometimes it's in danger of becoming a little bit garish, so we'll leave it be for the moment. So I've gone back into the cad red medium and a bit of white. Well, that lines up too much with this line. We can't have that. We can't have that. That's a no-no. Okay, I think we're high enough value now that we can touch it with a few more areas. Touch that slightly higher chroma. Onto a couple of areas. Okay, we're getting there. I don't want to just keep adding cad red, because if I keep adding cad red, it eventually becomes purely cad red. And frankly, straight cad red, yeah, for me, I like it modified a little bit. I don't like to see straight cad red. It looks too much like it's out of a spray can. Even if I try to lay it on kind of loosely. Now that's just my thing. I've seen cad red used magnificently. But right now, in this case, that's what we're going to do, is just add cad red. And we still have hints of cobalt blue in here. And white. So we're going pink, but it's a warmish pink. That's why I'm staying away from the alizarin crimson. It's kind of a cold, maybe you'd call it a little bit electric pink, I'm not sure. And I love alizarin crimson as a color on my palette. I just not all the time, that's all. I know I've had over the years, I've had very often comments regarding, or just, not regarding, but just saying, oh, well, this doesn't look quite right, or, this bothers me, or this should be that way, or that should be this way. That's because it's not painted yet. And I'm the only person in the room who knows or has an idea or a plan for how it's going to be painted. There's no way that anybody could know what's coming up. So of course, people have their opinions, but it's so important that we realize, like, it's the biggest enemy of an artist for somebody to come up and say, oh, that's not right, or this is, during a half-finished painting. Just makes no sense. So these bushes appear to be very dark behind these rocks. Fine. They weren't painted. They were just washed in. Now I'm giving them some body, some strength, some design. And they won't look so flat. And they will appear, perspective-wise, in a correct position. Once these bushes are all done, these rocks, I will bring them up a notch as well. So you're always playing the game, raising values, raising chromas, until you get to the point that you're happy. Not you, me. That I'm happy. I don't care about you. You know that. Okay, now there's not much. Actually, there's very little cobalt blue left in this mixture. It's becoming very cad red with a hint of white now. With a hint of white now. Sorry, my voice just kind of disappears halfway through a sentence sometimes. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ochre to that red. And a little more white. Still not dipping into the cadmiums. So yellow ochre might whiten it up a little bit, or lighten it up and warm it up, but yellow ochre is also actually, compared to a cadmium paint, it's a pretty low chroma paint. So you also dilute some of the strength that can come from red, from cad red. I'm tempted to put it here too, but we're getting away from our focal area, so we'll just keep it a bit pink for the moment. You know what? I'm going to put one or two strokes in here. How's that? becoming brazen here. You know, I want the light to be coming from the left-hand side, but I don't want it to be coming from directly perpendicular to our view. So I'd like to swing the light around a little bit this way so that it catches a bit of the front as well. And in doing so, I kind of need to give a little more light to more of the body. I'd prefer that 50% of it not be purple, more than 50% of it be leaning in the direction of reds, and that's why I'm kind of doing things right now, the way I'm doing it. Okay, now I'm going to... My yellow ochre was warming the red up, and it was giving it a little more body, and I like that. And I, as you can see, I've put a fair bit of it in here. But now I'm gonna put a little dab of Cad Yellow Pale on my palette. And we're going to touch our Cad Red Medium with Cad Yellow Pale, which brings us, well, obviously, closer to orange. A little more intense. See that? It's kind of subtle. Actually, I'll add a little more white to it because I don't want it to be too subtle. So, you know, technically it may be orange, but because there's so much red there, we don't look at it so easily as the orange bush. We still look at it as the red bush. The glowing red bush. Because now it has glowy bits. Yeah, a bit there too, but this is stronger. And let's bring it to here as well. Okay, a little more white. I don't like this small pyramid of no light in here. Okay, I'm getting fiddly awfully quickly here. And my brush strokes are all kind of the same shape. Never happy when that happens. Of course, there's always debris. When you're trying to do the finest, tiny little adjustment, there's always a glob of debris in the way. Murphy's Law. Okay, I think we'll leave that for the moment. Funny, eh? Because this seemed to really be catching light. Now that I've laid the bush in there, it's pushed those rocks down, it's subdued them. Now my job is to make those rocks pop against this. It's a little process, but it's a process. Okay, I'm gonna stand up, back up, Just a short one. I don't know. I guess this video wasn't that short, but I'm still in my lazy mode, and I probably will be for a couple of weeks. Let me bring the camera around and just square it off to the painting for you, so you get a sort of a better view to what's going on. And please don't tell me in the comments that that bush is too orange, because this painting has so much more to go. Wow, it's got a lot to go everywhere, all over the place. Okay, talk to you soon.